Just the other day, I was chatting with my neighbor Bob, a spry 68-year-old who still tends his rose garden every morning, and he shared something that stopped me in my tracks. After his last checkup, his doctor sat him down and said, "Bob, your cholesterol numbers are climbing like ivy on a trellis." And Bob? He was baffled. He thought he was eating just fine. But here's the thing so many of us forget. As our bodies change past 60, what used to be just fine might now be quietly working against us. High cholesterol isn't just a number on a page. It's like rust building up in a pipe, narrowing the pathways that keep our hearts singing. But don't you worry. Today we're going to walk through 3 specific foods that sneak into our diets and do the most damage. And, more importantly, what we can enjoy instead. Because you deserve to feel vibrant and strong for all the moments still ahead. Now, let's talk about that first food. It's one Bob loved dearly: golden, crunchy, deep-fried foods. Oh, that Friday night fish fry, those onion rings that shatter when you bite into them. I know how comforting those textures and flavors can feel, but here's the trouble. When we dunk foods in bubbling oil, something happens inside our bodies. That oil soaks right into the food, packing it with what's called trans fats and saturated fats. Think of them like sticky little particles that hitch a ride in your bloodstream. They cling to your artery walls, building up over time until your blood has to squeeze through like traffic in a narrow tunnel. And for folks like Bob, or maybe like you, whose livers already produce more cholesterol naturally as we age, adding that extra grease is like pouring fuel on a fire. But here's the beautiful part. We don't have to give up flavor. Next time that craving hits, try oven-fried chicken. Dip it in egg, roll it in crunchy whole-grain breadcrumbs with paprika, and bake it till it's crisp. Bob tried it last week and said, "Tastes like celebration," without the regret. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but what about my Sunday bacon? That leads us perfectly to our second food, one that hides in plain sight on breakfast plates and sandwich trays. That Sunday bacon Bob adored, or maybe your favorite smoked sausage at family barbecues. Here's the hard truth. Processed meats like these are like silent saboteurs for our cholesterol. Think bacon, ham, salami, hot dogs, anything cured, smoked, or preserved. First, they're brimming with saturated fats that nudge our livers to produce more LDL, the sticky cholesterol that clogs arteries, which stands for low-density lipoprotein. Second, they're loaded with sodium. Too much salt stiffens blood vessels like an old rubber band, forcing your heart to work harder. Bob admitted he'd snack on deli meat straight from the fridge. Convenient, he said, until his blood pressure started creeping up too.
But here's the good news. You don't need to abandon flavor or tradition. Swap that processed meat for lean, home-roasted turkey or chicken. Season it with rosemary and garlic. Oh, the aroma alone is comforting. Or try this. Next potluck, bring a rich bean soup. Lentils, black beans, chickpeas. They're humble little powerhouses. Their soluble fiber acts like a sponge in your gut, sopping up cholesterol before it ever reaches your bloodstream. Bob's wife Martha started adding beans to his chili instead of ground sausage. Tastes even heartier, he told me, and I don't miss that heavy feeling after lunch. Small shifts, big rewards. Now, I've saved the most surprising offender for last, one that hides behind buttery crusts and morning routines. It's not what most folks expect. Picture this, a buttery croissant with your coffee, or those store-bought muffins that taste like dessert. Tempting, right? But these baked goods, especially ones made with shortening or margarine, are packed with trans fats. These artificial fats are clever tricksters. They hike up your bad LDL cholesterol while slashing the good HDL that cleans your arteries. Even heart-healthy labels can be misleading. Bob used to grab a muffin every morning at the cafe. Just a small one, he'd say. But those small choices add up like pennies in a jar. So what's the fix? Embrace whole grains. Start your day with steel-cut oats. They're blank canvases. Swirl in cinnamon, walnuts, or frozen berries. That soluble fiber we talked about, oats are swimming in it. Bob swapped his muffin for oatmeal with sliced almonds and a drizzle of honey. Took 3 days, he laughed, and now my energy doesn't crash by noon.
And when that pastry craving hits, try whole wheat toast with smashed avocado and everything seasoning. Creamy, crunchy, and kind to your heart. So let's circle back. Skip the deep-fried crunch, rethink the processed meats, and choose baked goods wisely. It's not about deprivation, it's about celebration. Celebration of flavor, of vitality, of tending your own rose garden for years to come. Bob's latest blood test? His doctor grinned. Small steps, mighty changes. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. How do I start? Let's walk through the grocery aisles together, just like Bob and I did last Tuesday. First, hug the outer edges of the store. That's where the real magic lives. Fresh veggies, fruits, lean meats, and dairy. See those ruby red strawberries? Toss them in your cart. They're full of heart-loving antioxidants. And that whole chicken? Roast it yourself. You control the salt and skip the hidden oils. Bob chuckled when I showed him the spice aisle. Rosemary for my chicken, cinnamon for my oats. Feels like I'm cooking with the garden. Little choices, my friend, become lifelong habits. Here's a secret. Flavor doesn't come from salt shakers or frying pans. It comes from layers. Try this with fish or veggies. Squeeze fresh lemon, then sprinkle garlic powder, paprika, and a kiss of olive oil. Bake or grill, no deep fryer needed. And when eating out, Bob's rule is simple. Grilled over fried, sauce on the side. Last week he ordered salmon at the diner while his pals had fried shrimp. They teased me till they saw my energy later, he grinned. Social meals don't have to derail progress. They're celebrations of connection. Now, let's talk longevity. This isn't a sprint, it's a stroll through your golden years. Pair those smart food choices with movement that sparks joy. Bob walks 20 minutes each morning, checking his roses. My heart pumps, my mood lifts, and I earn my oatmeal, he says. No marathons needed. Even chair exercises or watering plants count. Remember, every bite of avocado toast, every bean soup, every step you take is a love letter to your future self. You know, when Bob showed me his first cholesterol report, he whispered, "I thought this was just my new normal." How many of us have felt that way? That aches and limitations are inevitable after 60? But here's what his journey taught us. Your body is still listening. When you swap that fried chicken for herb-crusted baked chicken, when you choose beans over bacon in your chili, you're speaking its language. And oh, how faithfully it responds. Bob's tending roses he planted the year he retired. "These'll outlive me," he'd joke. Now, he's building a new trellis for next spring. So where do we go from here? Start with one swap that makes your heart sing. Maybe it's oatmeal with your grandchild's favorite berries, or sharing a pot of lentil soup with neighbors. This isn't a diet. It's love in action. Love for the family who needs you present. Love for the dreams still unfolding. Love for that brave heart that's carried you through decades of storms and sunshine. You're not just a number on a chart. Your resilience, your wisdom, your Sunday dinners and sunrise strolls. Keep honoring that incredible vessel of yours. Here's to your health and the joy of living fully right now. Share your own swaps in the comments. Subscribe for more simple, joyful ways to thrive after 60. Remember, your best days aren't behind you. They're waiting to be savored. Go enjoy them.